Hello, it's Bailey Leisure, and I'm back with another video today. If you've seen these two guys before, when I
Is
did NFL video, they're back today. Durgesh and Sam. Glad to have you guys on to talk. Doing another NBA video. I went from not doing an NBA video for almost a year to you got two videos in a row. So thanks guys for joining me today. As we're going to talk about, we're going to give even though the NBA free agency doesn't start till June 30th, July 1st. We're going to talk. We're going to give our thoughts on some of the top free agents and where they could potentially go. So we're going to talk about some notable ones that are going to be free agents this offseason as the NBA draft just happened a couple days ago. We're going to talk about some notable ones, not all of them, but just some highlights. The first guy that's the top one is the NBA Finals MVP for the second time, Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard got traded from San Antonio, led the Raptors, got the not only the Raptors but Canada's first NBA championship, and he's definitely the most sought out free agent after Kevin Durant and Klay Thompson got hurt in the NBA Finals. So there's a lot of conflicting reports of where he could potentially go. What are your guys' thoughts where he could potentially go, and what's the likely chance of him staying in Toronto?
I say the likelihood of him staying in Toronto is very high, though. I mean, to be honest, what the Toronto Raptors did for him, they done everything for him. They pretty much during the regular season he was on load management, which means that they show him that they really care about him, so that he can take care of his body for the playoffs.
What were your thoughts on it, Durgesh?
I think he stays in Toronto. He won a championship. I think he's the most popular person in Canada up now.
Yeah, I think that community's definitely really embraced him. The team's really embraced him. The city, Kawhi, he's got a very interesting personality.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, I think what they did and I think Toronto is not approaching this like a LeBron James situation, especially after winning a championship in his first year. I think they're treating it. It's like if you stay here, we'll make you one of our own. If you don't, though, we're glad of what you did for us, and that's never going to be forgotten. I think it's around. A lot of people say 50-50. I say a 60-40 chance that he stays in Toronto. I think that's probably going to be. I think it's going. But obviously, the big destination and the two teams that could potentially chase him are the two teams in Los Angeles, and being the Lakers and the Clippers, especially after Anthony Davis just got traded. The Lakers are looking to develop a big three. But I really don't see him going to the Lakers because, this guy's kind of with his personality. I think there's a lot of pressure for the Lakers. In Toronto, there's not really, now that you've won a championship, obviously you want to win more, but there's not a lot of pressure to go out and do that.
To be honest, I felt like there was no expectations of him even this year of him winning the championship. It was kind of unexpected in a sense because I don't think anyone saw Toronto winning this championship.
No, I think
no one has.
I think after last year, after getting owned by LeBron James for like the 500th time in the NBA playoffs, so being called LeBronto, their turnaround. I mean, the fact that they had to trade away a longtime star in DeMar DeRozan for Kawhi Leonard, but that turned out being the difference to finally get them a championship and a couple breaks, but I think final predictions, I think he stays in Toronto. I think a secondary location he could go to is the Clippers. I can't see him going to the Lakers. So now we're going to talk about the guy that I think should have been number one on many tops free agencies list going into this offseason, and we're going to talk about Kevin Durant. So now with the Achilles injury and him going to be out pretty much all of next season, it's definitely going to be a risky signing for anybody that wants to give him a long-term deal because you're not getting him that first year of his deal. So where does he fit now? I mean, Kevin Durant, even if he comes back from this injury, this is a career-altering injury, and he might still be a great player, and I think he will, but he's not going to be the same Kevin Durant that really just carried the Warriors to back-to-back championships. So what's his status for you guys, and where could he potentially go?
I don't even know. This is so confusing. My best bet is that he was stay with the Warriors. I mean, I don't think I don't know. It's such a difficult like decision for him. I have no idea what he's like thinking. Because I heard like before he got injured, he wanted to go to the Knicks.
Yeah, potentially Brooklyn as well.
Brooklyn,
I think Kyrie Irving wanted to go wherever Kevin Durant was going to go. So it's definitely a big, impactful that injury. And there's another injury we're going to talk about that happened in that finals that definitely impacted the free agency just a little bit more. But I think with Kevin Durant, I could see him staying with the Warriors for like a year or two. I could see him signing like a small 1 or 2 year deal, get him healthy, get him back, and and people can see the status of what he has to bring after the injury. He's got a long road ahead of him, and as far as I'm concerned, I don't think it's going to happen, but I could see teams and him just deciding to take a year off of basketball and deciding, when he's healthy, he'll try out for teams and they'll get a look at him. So I can see that being a possibility. What about you guys?
I mean, I think it's a clear answer. Just stay with the Warriors.
Stay with him for now.
Yeah, I mean financially, if he re-signs with them financially, he'll get the biggest contract.
Yeah, I think Golden State probably, for what he did for them, I think they'll give him.
Yeah.
I think Kevin Durant could be in a position where he decides, okay, I'll come back, but at the same time, maybe I don't necessarily see him taking pay cuts, but he says, you know what, if we, your biggest concern right now, a guy that's probably going to be back before me is Klay Thompson. Let's go. I might take a pay cut, try to get healthy, and we can, get Klay Thompson back and try to give him more of the money. But it's to be determined. As far as I'm concerned, as far as free agents, I think it's more than like if he didn't get hurt, I think he would have went to the Knicks or the Nets. But since he did get hurt, he's going to be out a long time. I'm going to say he stays with Golden State. One of the top point guards that we're going to talk about next is Kyrie Irving. So when Kevin Durant got hurt, this definitely left question marks of where he's going to go, considering he's one of the top point guards and top players in this free agency. I think Kyrie Irving, after the whole situation with Boston, I don't see him coming back there. But I think the concern now is where does he go from here on out? Because I think he wanted to either go to Brooklyn or New York, but I don't think he wants to go alone. He wants another big star to go with him. So it's kind of tough to tell where he might go. Where do you guys think what are some options?
I think it's the Nets or Knicks, to be honest.
Yeah.
Maybe the Lakers, but that's like a distance. That's
far.
I don't know if LeBron and him can get. I mean, it seems like ever since he left Cleveland, their relationship's it's impaired a little bit. But I don't know exactly how or if that can coexist again. So, I mean, I think Brooklyn's the likely choice, especially if D'Angelo Russell leaves that team. So I think Brooklyn. I think that's going to be their biggest concern. But as far as Kyrie Irving's concerned, I think it's really just a question mark. He could go anywhere, to be honest. It's just what he's looking for. He's got an NBA championship ring. I think he wants to win more rings. But at the same time, I think he wants to be one of the highest paid players in the NBA. I think he definitely would be looking for a max contract. So I think in likelihood he probably goes to Brooklyn. But it's going to be definitely a while. I could see him going to several other teams. Maybe the Lakers, maybe the Knicks, but we'll see. Another notable free agent that is available is going to be Kemba Walker. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
I say he's one of the players that can fit on any team that needs a point guard.
Yeah, I heard after Anthony Davis got traded to the Lakers that Kemba Walker was going to be their next target, and I could see him fitting with LeBron and Anthony Davis more than a Kawhi Leonard or a Kyrie Irving, because I think he could be like the Chris Bosh or like the Kevin Love of that team in a way. Like, could be on a star on any other team. If you're with a couple other stars, you could be that third or fourth guy potentially.
Yeah, ego.
Yeah.
So I think he probably, in my opinion, I think he fits best on the Lakers. And probably if the Lakers, with especially their cap issues, I think he definitely would probably be the cheaper than Kyrie Irving or cheaper than Kawhi Leonard. So, but I think he probably fits best on the Lakers. Do you guys agree?
Yeah.
I say there's one other team that might have a shot for him. I'll say the Celtics.
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 What?
Celtics.
It's
a dark horse. I'll say
dark
that.
horse.
Just because the relationship between Kyrie Irving didn't work out.
Mm-hmm.
They still need a point guard, though.
Yeah.
He'd be a good fit.
He'll be a good fit, though. And plus, don't they have the cap space for it?
Yeah.
Well, if they don't pay Kyrie Irving, definitely, yeah.
Exactly.
They're not really signing Al Horford too.
Yeah, that's another big free agent as well. So yeah, I think Boston. Especially after getting healthy, I think everybody thought they were going to be the favorites in the Eastern Conference, but that just didn't. I think they're kind of just asking what happened. So, but I don't think Boston's going to tear it down. I still see them as a playoff team, but I don't really see them being on par with Toronto,
like a first round team,
or Milwaukee, or even Philadelphia as well. So, but yeah, I think Kemba Walker could be Boston, but I think the likelihood that the Lakers are probably the favorites to get him. Another top shooting guard in the NBA free agency upcoming is going to be Jimmy Butler. Thoughts on that?
To be honest, though, I feel like he should just stay. His best choice is just to stay with the Sixers.
Really?
Yeah. I don't. To be honest, there's been some rumors about him going to LA, but I don't really see it. I don't see any improvement to the team in general if they just sign Jimmy Butler, though.
Yeah, I don't. Butler's kind of an interesting player. It's kind of, I don't know where he fits, to be honest. Yeah, it's kind of a question mark with him, more so than maybe Kemba Walker or Kyrie Irving, where he could potentially fit. But yeah, it depends what the 76ers are going to do, because they've been known as that team that's been trusting the process for years. But they've been a playoff team and they got something really going, but they've never been able to. They still haven't been able to get deep into the playoffs past the second round. So, yeah, I think with the 76ers, I think it's just a concern with Ben Simmons and his level of play, and Joel Embiid, if I'm saying that correctly, him staying healthy. So, but I guess Butler staying with the 76ers is a good fit. I don't think he'll get big money than what people thought he was going to get at the beginning of the season, when he was still with Minnesota. So, but yeah, I'd say the 76ers is probably the best fit for him to stay. So, probably one of the top point guards that we've been talking about a lot, especially being from Phoenix, where we're filming this, D'Angelo Russell. So this is going to be the big concern, especially if the Brooklyn Nets sign Kyrie Irving. It's all likelihood that he's gone. So there's going to be a lot of teams need point guards, and with the Phoenix Suns, I think that's the one team I could see them. The Phoenix Suns, they've just had so many issues developing players, and I feel like they've always tried to develop players and play the long game. But when you haven't made the playoffs in a decade, I feel like playing the long game, there's no longer that you're playing a long game. You need to win now. You need to make an aggressive move, which they just have not been able to do. And they haven't really drafted the right players. I think they had a very mixed NBA draft from not only Phoenix media, but also fans-wise. I think also having several different head coaches over the years and having, questionable ownership, to say the best. I think D'Angelo Russell's, I think the big concern is whatever the Phoenix Suns have with cap space, can they get D'Angelo Russell? If they can't, who gets him, and who's going to be very aggressive with him in this free agency class?
I'll say this, though. There's another team that's very aggressive right now. That's the LA Lakers.
The Lakers.
Yeah.
Well, at the same time, it didn't fit with him. I can't see him going to the Lakers because it just did not. He didn't fit with the Lakers, or I don't think he would want to go back to that.
It would make no sense.
Even with LeBron and Anthony Davis, that makes no sense. He's not going back there, in my opinion. I'll say I don't have a lot of guarantees or bold predictions, but I think it's pretty safe to say he's not going back to the Lakers. even though they got T.J. Warren, there's definitely. I mean, the Pacers they have the cap space to get him as well. So, what are your predictions with D'Angelo Russell? Because that's probably the one guy. The Phoenix Suns for years have had an issue with not having a proper point guard. So what's it going to take for them to get D'Angelo Russell?
I don't even know, dude.
Well,
I think he goes to Timberwolves.
Timberwolves.
It's just kind of random where he could go to because I can't see him going to like the Lakers or the Raptors or Boston or something like that.
I'll say this though: the reason why D'Angelo Russell got traded is because the Lakers wanted to get rid of the Timothy Mozgov deal that they had. So technically, they didn't really, and that's when him and Nick Young that incident happened.
Yeah.
So technically, the Lakers they didn't really hate him. They just thought he was the only player that would be a good sacrifice.
Yeah, that didn't turn out well for them.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very. I mean, I talk a lot about the Phoenix Suns. There's obviously there's many reports of if they're interested, if they're not. I mean, the Phoenix Suns dumped salary and then they took salary during the day of the NBA draft. So there's question. They still have to re-sign Kelly Oubre, who was a big player for them. Was one of the bright spots, for that team last year. And I think Kelly Oubre. He's a restricted free agent, so it might cost them a lot to re-sign him. But that's probably it's definitely going to be interesting if they're going to be able to sign both those players, which I think they need to have a good offseason. I think if the Phoenix Suns, if they don't sign D'Angelo Russell, this offseason is going to look just head scratch the rest of the NBA. Just be like, what did you do? You traded down in the NBA draft class, the players you acquired, you got rid of a contract basically for free, thinking you were going to free up cap space, and then you ended up taking salary back when you traded down with the Timberwolves. There's just a lot of question marks. Once again, there just doesn't seem to be a lot of stability with the Phoenix Suns. So, I mean, what do they have to sign him to create some goodwill for that fan base and for that city?
Yeah.
I think with Devin Booker as well, I think he's almost at his breaking point where he's going to request a trade. And I've said it on Twitter, and I'll say it again. If Devin Booker leaves the Phoenix Suns, I think any goodwill that owner Robert Sarver had that was left with the Phoenix community is gone. And I think I could see that's a kind of move where I could see the NBA revoking his ownership rights to the Phoenix Suns after that. So I don't know where he goes. What's your final predictions? I say Phoenix, Indiana, and Minnesota are these possible destinations.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I heard this is new, but I heard rumors of him going to the Philadelphia 76ers.
If they re-sign Jimmy Butler,
about that.
Yeah.
Plus they have Ben Simmons.
I think he goes. I think he goes to the Timberwolves. Honestly,
I say.
I don't know. I just don't have faith in the Suns front office.
Yeah, I don't have faith either. So the Warriors, not only Kevin Durant's a free agent, they got two other notable names. Klay Thompson, who got hurt, tore his ACL in Game 6 of the NBA Finals, which was a huge injury for them in that game specifically. And then DeMarcus Cousins, who was recovering from an injury. Him taking less money to go for a championship ring and not getting a championship ring, boy, that plan backfired badly for him. So with what happened and how he didn't really make that much of a presence in the NBA Finals. So what are those two values for a player that's still kind of hurt and didn't really make that much of an impact for a player that's, like Kevin Durant, is likely going to be out for pretty much the majority, if not all, of next season? What are the destinations for both of them? We'll start off with Klay Thompson.
I think he stays with the Warriors.
Yeah.
Especially now.
I think definitely. I mean, even if he wasn't hurt, I think they were going to make him the top priority regardless. So I think he stays there. I think that's a pretty easy conclusion there. What about DeMarcus Cousins? What are his fits? Because I think his value is definitely
it's down.
It's down after last season. Even so, I mean, it's kind of a where could he fit?
Well, he did play his best basketball with Anthony Davis.
I could see, I mean, he was the Lakers were targeting him last season, last offseason, so I could see that being a fit. The Lakers, I feel like the Lakers, he could be their backup option, to be honest.
Yeah,
Bench player.
Bench player.
Because I can't see Anthony Davis and Cousins up now on the same
team.
same lineup.
Floor.
Yeah.
Just can't see that now.
I think he'll definitely look at bigger free agents, but like I think he'd be a cheaper option over like a Kyrie Irving or a Kemba Walker. So I think he's definitely a backup. I mean, any other fits for him?
He might just stay.
I
in
could see Atlanta being a good fit for him.
Atlanta?
Yeah, they did a center.
Yeah, they need a center.
New Orleans? Maybe no. I think the Pelicans are trying to go young, especially after getting Zion and getting all those players from the Lakers. What are your thoughts on this upcoming NBA free agency? Leave in the comments section below. Click like if you like the video. As always, follow me on Twitter at BabyLeisure96. And if you like the content on my channel, please subscribe. I want to say thank you guys for joining my videos once again today. It's been a while. I think the last time we did videos together was the NFL.
August.
No, I think it was New Year's. We were doing the NFL predictions videos. That was a long time ago. So I got more videos coming up. Definitely going to do it once the NBA free agency starts. You might see these guys again. I'll recap the NBA free agency. It's a fun day, those 2 days, June 30th and July 1st, because the NHL and hockey free agency starts. So I'm going to do a video on that again. You might see another baseball video maybe when the All-Star break happens. So a lot of videos coming out in the next couple of weeks, so stay tuned. So thanks everybody for watching. Thank you, Sam and Durgesh, for joining me again. And I'll see you all later.